Wow, we are doomed. No, not because of climate change and what Little Dicky and the celebritard propaganda machine is putting out there, but because of just the absolute idiocracy that we live in. Now, Little Dicky is a musician. He just came out with a star-studded music video featuring Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, Miley Cyrus, and a whole bunch of other celebritards. I think that's one way of saying it, in a music video calling for, of course, positive change for global warming. And in this video, we're not only going to break down just the craziness, the lunacy, the insanity with what this video is saying, but also there's even a campaign behind this that's even more ridiculous and insane. We're actually going to be playing those videos. We can't play excerpts of the actual music video, but we could tell you what the lyrics said. And Jason, holy cow. Before we get into the lyrics, before we played it in the background, I originally thought this was a troll. I originally thought that this was just a complete joke.
Yeah, no, I knew they weren't joking. I saw this trending last night, and I saw the climate change anthem, and I'm like, man, am I going to be able to get around this? And all the memes, you scroll through Twitter about it as it trends, and there's a bunch of memes. Anyway, you look in this, and Little Dicky, listen, as an entertainer, I've enjoyed some of his stuff, right? It's pretty lowbrow, easy listening, kind of, I would semi-millennial rap. That's how I'll classify it, right? Hasn't gotten too political. Go ahead.
No. Keep going.
Yeah. And now if you look, it's called Earth, but they even sneak in a fart joke in the very beginning here. I want to point that out. A lot of people are going to miss that. The problem with the video to me is it starts off, very targeted towards children. And obviously it looks like a DreamWorks picture also targeted towards children. And not only is it intertwining this climate change message, this global warming message, whatever you want to call it, but it also intertwines like other things like pollution, like, oh, I must not love the earth because I question CO2 climate change. But we don't talk about CO2 in this. Go ahead, Luke.
Not only that, but just totally sexualization of just butts. Like it makes sense when you look at pop culture and you look at society and how he's trying to fit in there. Like Lil Dicky, I enjoyed his songs before. They're kind of it's kind of slap humor, which were funny. But like the way that they tried to interject butts into this just makes people feel uncomfortable. Like Beavis and Butthead, they look like Mozart compared to the sophisticatedness of their intellect with their jokes, compared to how Little Dicky just literally just keeps bringing up butts and has a conversation with little kids about sucking butts. And I'm like, again, it makes sense where society is. And these are just little kids. And again, just the overall message here is just total idiocracy. The song kind of goes on, and they have so many different celebrities here singing this, and there's one particular lyric I kind of wanted to highlight here. It's like, we love the earth, we love the basic, simple, nothing too sophisticated, the opposite of that actually. But the lyric goes, we love you India, we love you Africa, we love the Chinese, and then shows Germany, and it says, we forgive you Germany. And I'm like, wait, what? Do they forget that? I don't know if this was done ironically, but obviously China and India are the two biggest polluters in the world. When we look at what's happening there, China is literally dumping tons of plastic, garbage, and chemicals into the oceans. India is literally polluting all their rivers that go into the oceans. And of course, in Africa, entire ecosystems are destroyed because of palm oil. And then we're saying, yeah, we love you. Germany, you're bad. And I'm like even me, like I had people don't know this, but like my family, my historical lineage has literally been persecuted, imprisoned, sent to work camps, sent to concentration camps, and even assassinated by the Nazis in Germany when I was, because of my Polish heritage. I don't go to Germany being like, I forgive you. How dare you come? Like where does this even have to do with pollution and global warming? They're totally just stretching the goalpost and being absolute, just indiscriminate idiots and intellectually, factually inaccurate, to say the least. What else did you pick up from this? Because there's other things I want to bring up.
Well, there's a ton to talk about. So let's go back to the sexualization of children, for instance. This is very directed towards kids. Like I said, it has kids in the beginning. We're trying to change the world. This is the next generation. And, you know, my generation is the first one to grow up with Toy Story-like animation, right? And this is top-of-the-line animation with stars, by the way, like Miley Cyrus that are in movies like that as voices, Kevin Hart that are in movies like that as voices, Ed Sheeran, you name it. Just, I mean, all sorts of A-listers are in there. Believe the hype. Then you have this intertwining message of not only climate change and global warming, but like he said, oh, we forgive you, Germany. Oh, we're sorry about World War II and the Nazis. Then it says, Russia, we're cool. It also talks about being in a simulation. So they even kind of promote the simulation theory that I'm not in love with, that we've discussed on this program. And on top of that, at the very end, when they want to introduce Leonardo DiCaprio as our leader, as our all-knowing God, we need to listen to Leo. Well, they bring up the aliens. Like, aliens are the next thing. Like, if you look at this scene, it's like, hey, you know, if the aliens come, we need to, you know, send Leo there because he knows what's going on and nobody else seems to.
Let me read the lyrics that led up to this scene, because this is the end of the song. This is their outro dialogue, ending everything. So this is what you're left with. It says here, Lil Dicky says, guys, everybody look into whatever the F Leonardo DiCaprio is always pushing, because I feel like that guy knows more about ... the earth and how we're effing it up than anybody. If the aliens do come, we should definitely send Leo as our guy, our rep. In fact, the profits that come along with the streams and the sale of this songs are going right into the earth. Let's raise some money for charity. Any words, Leo, it's awesome. Leonardo DiCaprio, literally, the guy with a harem flying around in private jets and on luxury yachts. That's the guy that you should listen to. Now, Leo, of course, he also knew, what was the guy's name who promoted peak oil? Michael Rupert?
Yes, Michael Rupert.
I actually sat next to Leo and had a conversation, so he knows a little bit about that information. But again, he's been incorrect on a lot of times, a lot of these bigger things. But regardless of the whole Leo debate, whatever you may think of him or whatever you may not think of him, this gets even more crazier when you actually go to the website that Lil Dicky promotes and has him speaking barefoot, looking like a little homeless hipster, talking about the world ending in 12 years. Should we play a little bit of that clip?
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to point out that Michael Rupert was promoting a theory called peak oil that was completely disproven. That, you know, again, was a doomsday prophecy that did not come to fruition, and something I was extremely critical of. Despite liking some of his other work, you know, you can like somebody else's, you know, part of their research and then say, you know what, this is no good. But here he is, Lil Dicky. By the way, it's a series. It's the website they're promoting at the end, welovetheearth.org. And Lil Dicky is going to let us know through the problem, energy, nature, and food how we can change the earth for the better. Lil Dicky, how much time do we have?
To put it. We have 12 years, I'm being told. 12 years to turn this thing around, or it turns into one of those movies where the air sucks and, like, you know, people have to move to specific cities and everyone's like scrapping for food. I can't be in that fucking environment. Are you kidding me?
Okay, so obviously in 12 years, just like AOC has told us, we're going to be in some kind of a dystopian future where trash is everywhere, where literally we are engulfed by dumpsters, have to move to cities we don't want to. I watched this thing and it's insane, Luke.
Yeah. I mean, it gets crazier. It gets absolutely crazier, but shows you into this kind of delusioned millennial thought of like, hey, I'm not going to do any homework, any research. Hey, this is effed up. Look at this guy. He's going to tell us everything. He's going to become our savior. Yeah, I can't. It's all about me, kind of millennial attitude without even any basic reality of fact or just comprehension of actually looking into global warming, because there's actual issues happening with the environment that we could look at, that we could take action on. But when you just say, hey, we all need to be better. Yes, of course, you're doing this generalized messages, but again, the propaganda behind it, it's usually controlled by special interests who want to tax, regulate, and of course have more control over your life. He showed, you know, photos and videos of polar bears in the background, the poor polar bears, which the media has been running with as a major talking point to promote, of course, this climate change kind of theory out there. But since 2005, the global population of polar bears has literally risen for 30%. And again, a lot of these things aren't mentioned. The real issues of how polluted the world is becoming, they're never getting addressed. The issue that, of course, these celebritards are pushing are, of course, for a special interest to have more control over you and to blame you and to shame you and to, of course, panic you. And to me, this is definitely driven in a very successful propaganda video, because obviously all these celebritards being a part of this is going to make a lot of people pay attention to it. And what better way to promote propaganda than with celebritards? Because some people give up their power individually within themselves. They don't like the life they're living, so they're living vicariously their lives through other people with their obsessions in them. And with their obsessions comes the loss of any critical thinking skills. And that's why we're seeing celebritards push this and not actual scientists, and not actually having a debate talking about the real issues that the earth is involved in. If there's a volcano, CO2 is going to be littered all over the world, more than a lot of human beings could actually produce. Again, I don't want to get into it. That's all I have to say. There's a lot more to what Lil Dicky is trying to say, but I think I literally, Jason, thought this was a troll. Look at the way he talks. You look at the way he just takes no actual facts and just shifts all the responsibility to other people. It literally looks like he's just trying to be disingenuous and trying not to really care about it, or even spend a couple minutes researching, hey, let's actually see what's going on here, to actually state some facts to the people other than Earth good, people bad.
Yeah, no, it's we. The man's not wearing shoes or socks. I don't know how I'm going to be able to take him seriously. Listen, I might not be the best dresser, guys, but I promise you when I'm on air, even though you don't see it, wearing shoes and socks. This was a who's who. This is the Bieber, Grande, Halsey, Zach Brown, Wiz Khalifa, Snoop Dogg, Kevin Hart, as Kanye West, even brought some people in from our generation, the Backstreet Boys. Again, they understand that the PR move is actually more important than the science, and that's why they use celebrity, Luke.
I'll admit to one part. There was one funny part. And that was the Kevin Hart part, pretending to be Kanye West. That was the only funny part. That was the only part that I was like, oh, okay. But other than that, I didn't enjoy it.
You mean you didn't enjoy Lil Yachty as HPV for a video that kids are obviously going to see? Or perhaps Snoop Dogg as a marijuana plant that's going to get you effed up? Or maybe Lil Dicky himself drinking from the teat of a cow? But maybe we could talk about male and women orgasms towards the end, right before Leo DiCaprio. Some other highlights, folks. I know we've kind of gone on quite a bit on this one, but go watch it for yourself. There's a real message out there that, people are the problem. And in some respects, look, we got to clean up the ocean for real. The plastic issue is a real issue. The pollutants that we put into that ocean, the mercury runoff and worse, that's a real issue. The pollutants that we put into the sky, that is also a real issue. We're not saying it's not. I'm all for that. I do love the earth. But when we're talking about CO2, the air we breathe, and then the exhalant that is a life force on this planet for all vegetation, I'm sorry, I can't get down with you. Guys, we're doing 4 videos a day. Please check them out. 3 over on Pulse Change, 1 over on WeAreChange. Please subscribe, ring that bell so you get the notifications, share them on social media, and get out there and be the change you want to see in the world.